What's going on, y'all? It's your main man, Big Wayne, D-I-E-S-E, to the airport live, an episode of Callin How I See It. You know how I do, Mr. Diesel. Doing a little, every now and then, you get out there, you see something in the news, and you get a little overexcited, and you might think something, you bring yourself down. That's why I kind of feel like it's two times you really got to be careful when you make a decision. That's when you get too happy, or when you're too mad. Because if you're too happy, you might say or do something you really don't mean, or something you really wish you didn't. Or if you're too mad, you might say something you wish you didn't, or wish you could take back, or say something or do something you don't mean. So I feel like it's best to just try to monetize it and make a decision when you're in that happy medium, when you're in the right place of mind. Well, I say all that to say, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm coming back to that medium on the Clippers. And I'm not so convinced there's a heavy favorite as what everybody can count them as. Now, there are some Laker fans out there, let the Lakers tell it they finna win it all. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. We got to see. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about these Clippers right now. I'm not sure if they're just totally just locked in favorites for the championship is what everybody think. Like because I'm looking at the roster. I'm looking at the roster. I mean, and just because, and I do think they'll finish with the best record in the league, but just because you got a top seed don't make you, it makes you a favorite. But that don't mean you're going to win the championship. Milwaukee had a great record last year. They didn't win it. Houston had a top seed this year. They didn't win it. Hell, the Hawks had it. They won 60 wins that year. They didn't win it. The Raptors had it a couple years back. I'm talking about the DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, them Raptors. They didn't win it. So one seed don't necessarily mean you on the way to holding that trophy up. So I do think they'll have the best. But however, I'm not convinced they just a lock for the championship, because I'm sitting here looking at the roster, and of course I start with Kawhi, and yeah, he won with the Raptors, and then I look back when he won with the Spurs, and I'm just like, well, okay, who'd you beat? You beat the Miami Heat. And who was on the Heat? LeBron. Well, let's look. The Spurs have always had LeBron's number. Always. That is like the kryptonite. I don't know what it is about them Spurs. I don't know if it's coaching, if he was scared of Tim Duncan. I don't know if he had bets or he's supposed to be point shaving for the Spurs. I don't know if he got blackmail on LeBron. I don't know. But he always got his number. He beat him in 07. Got lucky with the Ray Allen shot, and then he overcame then. But by and large, they pretty much got outplayed that series, and they was gonna lose. It just took a game 7 and a Ray Allen shot. That's what took it. And then we know what happened the next year, because they ran him out the gym. Yes, Kawhi was on that team, but Tim Duncan, that was the Spurs. The Spurs, because Tim Duncan ain't seen LeBron. Okay, we've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. So I'm just not convinced that he would have beat LeBron without the Spurs, because the Spurs always keep you ready. They always keep you locked in. That's what they do. They always got the number out on LeBron. Always. Okay, so let's fast forward to the Raptors again. I'm not sure they better than Philly. We know they wouldn't have beat Golden State if they was healthy, but nevertheless, they got these breaks, and they won. Cool. All right. Now, so I go back to Philly. Who was Philly's best people? It was Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Right? Okay, cool. I just said I don't think they would have beat them. So let's look. If you were struggling, you couldn't do much with a Joel Embiid and a Ben Simmons, then what you gonna do with the upgrade version, aka LeBron and Anthony Davis? Because LeBron going to point now, so he Ben Simmons on steroids. Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis is Joel Embiid on creatine. So if you can handle them two, then what you gonna do with them two? Because yes, Anthony Davis have his knick-knack stuff, but usually he around in the playoffs. I mean, he get knick-knack and stuff during the season, but he usually around in the playoffs. He was just kind of by himself with the Pelicans. But now he got Bron. You see what I mean? And if Kawhi was struggling with the Sixers, then what you gonna do with that tandem? And I know, I know y'all going, well, you can't compare. It's a different team. It's a different team because you know we got Paul George. Yes. Let's talk about playoff P. When the last time y'all seen Paul George do something in the playoffs? Because last time I can recall, he was sitting there getting outplayed by Joe Ingles. Don't forget that. Everybody want to put it on Westbrook, and it's fun to beat up on Westbrook, but Joe Ingles was taking Paul George to school. Now, if you can't do something with Joe Ingles, I'm sorry, what you gonna do with Kyle Kuzma? Or even an Avery Bradley or a Danny Green? Because I would take both of them over Joe Ingles. What you gonna do with that, Paul George? What you gonna do with that playoff P? What you gonna do about that? Huh? So them two, and then you had Miami when he was in Indiana. When did he beat LeBron? Newsflash, it didn't happen. Just in case y'all can remember. It didn't happen. So we got two people that I'm not sure can beat LeBron, and now he got Anthony Davis. And he moving to point guard, so that's gonna cause problems in and of itself. Because let me tell you something. If you think Patrick Beverley getting ready to lock up LeBron and do something with LeBron, you are sadly mistaken. Yes, they can do switches. But I don't think any of y'all got a matchup problem for Anthony Davis. It's just matchup problems all through there. Now, I'm not sitting there saying the Lakers getting ready to win it all, but what I am saying is I don't think these Clippers is what we thinking they are. So I'm saying let's just bump the brakes on these Clippers because Kawhi, them Raptors are not what people were saying. And I think that was more about the Spurs than it was Kawhi. You understand what I'm saying? And the Lakers, they done loaded up. Now, I know you got Montrezl Harrell, who I like, and you got Doc Rivers, and you got a nice little cast. That's all it is, a nice little cast. That's all it is, a nice little cast. So let's not just crown the Clippers just yet. Let's not just put them in the finals. Let's let them play first. Now, I do think they'll have a top seed. I absolutely believe that. But I'm just not convinced. Yet. Then don't let Kawhi be hurt or something. Don't let Kawhi have a knick-knack or stuff injury because he's playing through injuries in these playoffs. And if he might need some of that load management that everybody likes saying now, you can't just do that against Bron. Hell, I don't think you're going to be able to do it against Utah. Because the West got some juice. So that's all I'm sitting there trying. I'm just trying to let's pump the brakes on these Clippers. Because the more I think about it, and the more you look at the hit, when you go for a job, they ask for resumes. And I'm looking at Kawhi's resume. I'm looking at Paul George's resume. I'm looking at their playoff resume. Yes, Kawhi's done great things, but again, I'm not sure they getting as far as people think they are. Now, I might be right about the Clippers. I may be wrong. I don't know. Just calling it how I see it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Love, peace, Afro Grease. I'm out this thing. Yeah.